Hello and welcome to Darius Tabletop, and today I painted a rather splendid Cromwell and I had tons of fun, and shout outs to Pete the Wargamer, whose tutorial I followed, and I will kind of tell you how I painted it, what worked, what didn't work, and why the decal didn't fit here and I had to throw it away and just put a tiny star here. But it's fine because this is a rather splendid Cromwell, and in 2 hours, 1 hour, we will have tea time. So let's get it on. How did I start? I started by watching Pete the Wargamer's tutorial. It's 5 minutes long, and he told me what I need and what I don't need, and I tell you what I used. So I primed this angel green, and the Cromwell, some of the Cromwells have a rather dark saturated green. Wait, where is it? Where is my angel green? Come on, there it is. So the primer will look a bit like this. It's like the dark angel color, but it's angel green. But you could also use an army green, which is a bit more olivey, and then there's the American olive drab. There's a bunch of colors and there's a bunch of variations, I have to say. And so when you look up the Cromwell, you will find this beautiful dark Cromwell, which I liked. I liked the really dark tone. Then there's the olive colored, army colored Cromwell, and that one is cool too. I think there are certainly different types of marks they released. And so what I did, I primed it green. And then the second step is to take a dry brush and go over it with some army green. What did I do? I think I mixed a bit of olive green and army and angel green. Maybe I also did put a bit of the Castellan green on it, and so you have this very dark and distinct tone, and then you dry brush it with this lighter olive tone, and it starts looking very good. So if you can't see it, it's maybe because I weathered it really hard. I washed over it, but after you prime it angel green and then give it a coat of dry brush with that olive green, it looks like really, really good. Things start to pop and you can really see what's what on the tank. Then the next step was to paint the tracks. Pete the Wargamer uses monster green. What I had the where is it? That's the wrong tone. I had the fur brown, and I would maybe recommend like the Mornfang brown. One of two, or maybe you mix it a bit, and you have to make or paint over it 2 thin coats so that it covers it. I also covered this fuel tank with it, as you can see, but this is how it looks, or what it looks. Yeah, lighting not the best, but yeah, the fur brown. And I think it's really important because it gives, like, the green is like really dark, and so you're giving it another color accent. As you can see, it's like really this 3 tones. It's like the green, it's the brown, the brownish, and then with some orange and red accents. And that's like really how you should maybe do all of your miniatures, like 3 parts, 2 parts, 1 parts, 3 color. If you know what I mean, like 3 parts of the green, 2 parts of the brown and oranges, and then 1 part of something different, like the yellow, the blue, the red, some things back here, or some accents like here, and that makes your miniature or tank pop. So after I painted the tracks, I think I did put in the black parts, as Pete the Wargamer told me, to paint the tracks. Take your time there. just the rubber parts, and also maybe the MMGs right here. Don't paint it the whole thing, just like the MMG right here, and I painted also a bit of black right here and chipped it then later with the metal. And really that's it on the black part, and then you can put on your decals. And I had one beautiful decal that was double the size of this one, and it should have fitted here. It did fit, but it didn't sit snug. Like it peeled and it looked ugly. And I looked up a lot of the wait, you can see it even here. Like you can see this. This is how this should have fit, but it didn't fit in a beautiful way. It curled and it wasn't sitting the right way. I mean, it looked good. I even did cut it a bit so that it had a bit of air and room to spread out, but it just wasn't happening. So I peeled it off and I threw it away. Sad to see a beautiful decal go, but that's what it is. And I did take a tiny one. It should have gone also here in the back, the big one. And if you're an American bomber, you fly over the tanks and you can see a big star here or a big star here, and you know, okay, I'm not gonna bomb this. This is one of ours. But I think the tiny one also does the job. Again, I did put storage on mine, so you could fit the big star here or here, but I couldn't fit it here. So when you build it, let me know how it went, or if it went good, or I don't know. I did put in some of these writings, the 30, a 16 here, another star here. I planned to put another star here, but I really liked, like less is sometimes more. I was about to plaster this tank with a lot of stickers, but the less you can put on it, the more beautiful it looks, I would say. I mean, even this one in the front, this red and blue, maybe it's a bit too much. I don't know. Maybe it would look better without it, but I wanted to try. After that one, so the fuel tank, I painted, I think, in Mornfang Brown. And then I started chipping. Of course, I used Mornfang Brown here and here on the wooden parts. I will come to the other brown parts, also here, the shovel. And then I took this Vallejo orange, but any orange you have will do. And I took a bit of foam. And like the dry brushing with the foam, I went over the edges and over some parts to show that maybe rust, that the tank has caught some rust. As you can see here, it looks like really good. And I went over the edges because that's where the rust would, I don't know. I think the edges would chip, and I would have loved to put a bit of orange right down there, but I couldn't reach. So we'll see where I do that another time. And I did put a bit of the orange on the tracks. And as you can see here, so this is a bit rusted up. I think this one has seen maybe Normandy and is driving towards Holland or Belgium or maybe even Germany. Maybe encountering the Whitman Tiger. And after I chipped it with the orange, I took a bit of silver. I would recommend a Stormhost silver. Stormhost silver is, I think it's Iron Breaker. I used this one, plate mail. It's a bit bright, but I used this one. So any silver will do. And as you can see, I chipped up the edges where, of course, the tank would drive through things, and those things would scrape off, the color. And as you can see, some of these things and heavy chipping. I don't know. I love my minis, sometimes grimdark. What can I say? A bit of chipping here. I painted here the silver parts. I went a bit with the chipping over the tracks. And yeah. So what's next? Then for the storage, as you can see, they grabbed a German grenadier helmet. I think here I used some sandry dust or some beige or sand tone. Yeah, nothing really fancy. The same thing I used for my German grenadiers. And I washed it heavily, maybe a bit too heavy. Maybe I have to go over it and even out some of the ugly pooling. And for the major up here, or the general, or whatever, or the tank driver, tank commander, I could have gone with a green on green, green beret, green uniform, but I wanted to do a bit something a bit different. And Sonic Sledgehammer Studios uses something that's called British uniform, and it's a brown tone. It is something like this, like a light brown tone. I mixed it up with a bit of sandry dust and fur brown, and then washed it heavily. And I think it looks okay. I gave him the red beret because I like it, just taste. Then I used the Acadian flash tone and washed with a flash wash from Armypainter. I think this is the soft tone, this is the strong tone, then this must be the flash wash, but any flash wash will do. I just used the Armypainter ones because they are half the price of the Citadel ones and are as good as theirs. I put in here the blue lamp, but I have to check the highlights, how a lamp would display or show highlights. And yeah, that's it. That's the tank. And I had tons of fun. I will field this bad boy next week against Germans and the French. We will play 3 friends. We will play 1 village. I don't know how it will come to be, but 1,000 points of Brits. The Cromwell is a 9+ armor tank. It has a medium anti-tank, so it penetrates on a 5+. So if you're shooting at a Stug, the Stug is a 9+. And the Cromwell will, so you take the 5+ from the 9. So on a 4 you would glance, and on a 5, on a 6 you would penetrate. I think it's okay. The tank costs around 200 points. I think it's not the best points for value tank, but who gives a damn? Just have fun playing. I mean, the Brits had what they had, and they used what they had to use, so maybe you do that too. I mean, playing always the best minis is a good thing, but sometimes it's also fun just to play what you have. And man, if this tank can kill a Tiger or a Stug or a Panzer III, or maybe can take out some other tanks, like, I will be proud of this Cromwell. It will be fun. And yeah, what else? So a 9+ tank, a 5+ medium anti-tank gun. This one is also available as a Centaur, but a Centaur looks a bit different. And then you have 1 coaxial MMG and 1 hull-mounted MMG. So you have 6 shots from this tank. Nothing to write home about, but yeah. I think we have to play it proudly, and yeah, nothing to add. It's a beautiful tank. I had fun, and they say that this was a very fast tank. It had its problems. It was outclassed, but nonetheless, if you got a Cromwell, that's what you gotta play, and you gotta play it proudly. We see us.